So this kid's just coming with us now, huh? Nowhere else to be? Was that him? That was a motorcycle. Lucky Buddha's a big truck. Yeah, they're too fast for a truck. I bet they're getting chased by something. Maybe they just have somewhere important to be. Definitely getting chased by something. Spooky how you just see the light at first. Oh, look at Blue. You didn't even pet the dog. Stay here. Careful, he's wicked with strangers. Ha! You! Who's chasing you? Hear that, Cricket? We're being pursued. I knew it. Who's after us? That's a good question. These folks seem to have a certain handle on the situation. So... dinosaurs. Sure, something like that. Listen, we've got some questions for you folks. What kind of people do you take us for? I mean, how do we strike you? Probably from space. I always said you fell from heaven, man. Otherworldly. It's unmistakable. Now, here's another question for you two. Do you like music? Do you like music? Doesn't everyone like music? They seem to be talking as if they're robots, by the way. Like, are these robot musicians? They said that if they stayed overnight in the outdoors, they'd be like frying and short-circuiting. And then there was a reference to having a time circuit. Like, what time is it? You got a time circuit, but but yours is more accurate. And I think there's more hints too that I'm not remembering verbatim right now. I don't like music, but I do like sounds. Of course you do. Say, they should come to our gig. What an idea. Right now? Right now. Just head over there on this baby. The vicious cycle. That's what we call our bike. We call it the vicious cycle. Pretty tough, huh? We'd be very much obliged. See, we have a regular booking tonight, and well, we're running late. Very late. That's what I told them. Now, the old man who runs this venue, Harry Esperanza, is a notorious withholder. And if you don't get a few bodies in the crowd, well, he'll go old penny pinching on us. Oh, they're the entertainment. I was thinking about the characters from that other story showing up again, but more than anything, it's the characters that didn't show up in the entertainment that we're meeting now. This is the entertainment. Everyone kept saying, like, where's the entertainment? When's that band gonna show up? It's these two. Just a short set. We only have one song prepared. You'll come to the gig, won't you? Of course we will. Of course they will. Can you believe we almost didn't stop? Hungry old lady? I think I've got a crust in the sidecar here. It was only out of the kindness of my own heart. Well, it's all said and done. We stopped. That's all that matters. Our gig's at the old tavern called the Lower Depths. It's over there by old Charlie Moran Highway, just east off 65. We usually take a ride off the interstate around the petting zoo. Johnny likes the petting zoo. I do like the petting zoo. Now let's see about that truck of yours. I feel certain we can get it running. They're mechanically inclined in that they are robots, seemingly. Did we call to cancel? I feel like we should have called to cancel, right? Just east off 65. The lower depths. Take a right of 65 around the petting zoo. And the main road is the petting zoo. Are they following us? They're following us. Are they gonna react if I don't go the right way? Or just wandering in weird directions enable outcomes where I can, like, encounter roadside interactions, but with the band with me. Because generally speaking, when they give me this open map, I go for a wander and see what I can find. But now the bike is following us, so I kind of feel bad. Not that it ever made that much sense to go the wrong way for this great of a distance like I did before. I am becoming a... Oop. Shannon's workshop. The truck pulls into the bait shop parking lot. The bait shop is closed. Conway and Shannon walk around the side of the building. Shannon fumbles with her keys for a bit, then looks down at her feet. The locks have been changed. She writes a short but stern note about tenants' rights and pins it to the door. They changed the locks and kicked her out of her own workshop? Hasn't it only been like a day or less? How the hell? They changed the locks the moment she left? That's kind of terrifying. There is a petting zoo. The petting zoo is closed. Damn. That's straight up crime right there. How dare you? Oh, they stopped following me. They're just sitting there. The game might be trying to indicate that's the correct place to go to. Conway leaves the truck to stretch his legs by the creek. He follows the edge of the road, then wanders a bit into the woods where the creek and road part. The creek bed is nearly dry this time of year, but a few thin channels still run through the rocks. He can barely make out the moonlit silhouette of an overturned boat. A few dozen yards down the creek, he reaches habitually into his jacket pocket, then remembers he doesn't carry a flask anymore. Ooh. Naughty habits. Oh. How long has this been here? Oh, it's off. Almost sounds like a number station. Not sure where you're gonna get any of the usual stuff you'd expect. Gospel chanting? Hey. That's kind of nice. Sounds a little bit like a Mass Effect 1 bonus track. Okay. $98.1. Unsurprisingly for me, the hotspot is if I can find any kind of commentary, local news. Maybe the guy from the phone. Those long guitar clangs kind of remind me of the soundtrack of Silent Hill. I think it's the Silent Hill 2 theme song. It's coming to mind a little bit. Definitely elevator music. Sometimes you think you hear something, but when you sweep over the area again, nothing comes up. Like they're almost like randomly generated hints of a place that you can't actually ever get to. This is nice too. That's all we get. Try this place again. Oh. $94.8. I think this one might be my favorite. Suddenly we've got some music. Weird, isn't it? Maybe I'll write it down. Ow. Just remember for the future if I need to type it in again. Oh, the motorcycle people are still with us. Like now they're more late than ever before. This must be near the end. You think? Sure. You can tell they're all in a crisis. What makes you think they're in crisis? It's in their posture. See how the big one's all slumped there? If they were just introducing him, they'd want him to look all tall and powerful. Now you see him all worn down to almost nothing. It's pathetic. That's the idea, Cricket. You think they'll start over after the ending? Yeah, they do that sometimes. Good. I want to know how it starts. You want to see the beginning after the ending? Maybe it's better that way. Do all these people know each other? It's a random aside, but I've experienced that before in a weird context. It's not that weird because anyone can just see a movie out of order via reruns and whatnot. But specifically, it was Walking Dead Season 2, the finale. We somehow were wrong about when it was airing, or we somehow started like the DVR recording halfway through or something. So it started with us, like they spent the whole season on this farm, hiding away from the zombies and whatnot. It's the infamous farm season. And the finale opens up and it's like everyone's separated and they're fleeing and nobody's at the farm. Everyone's in groups of like 1 or 2 people and they don't know where all the other groups of people are. They don't know who lived and who died or what the state of things are, and it's all disheveled and crazy. And you're like, oh man, it's a cold open. Like, being used to watching like Breaking Bad and stuff like that, you're like, oh man, oh wow, what a stinger. Like, look at everyone, like they're out of the farm, like, well, shit's gonna go crazy this episode. And then it just kept going. Like, you keep expecting it to be like a 5-minute opening of everybody desperately, or even like a 30-second opening of everyone like on the road, desperate looking and bedraggled in groups, being like, where's Sharon? Or whatever the hell. Does anyone see them? Oh my god! But then it kept going for like half an hour. And like the characters meet up with each other, those that are still alive and so on. And then like after a bit, the credits rolled and the episode was over. And I was like, what the fuck? That was too short. What happened on the farm? And then we realized well, we didn't really realize our mistake because we didn't really realize what the mistake was, but we at least realized that something had gone wrong. And we were able to go back and track down and like watch the episode from the beginning correctly. And turns out, like, I thought they were just doing a creative thing like Breaking Bad often does, where they kind of show the ending first, or the hint about a thing that's going to happen that episode, but then you get context for it later. So it's like, oh, they show them all fleeing, but then you're going to actually see like the big buildup of like all the bad stuff that happened on the farm. And Walking Dead itself does that all the time. You see stuff out of order chronologically on a regular basis. In fact, as the longer the show goes and its spin-off Fear the Walking Dead go, the more obnoxious they're getting about nonlinear storytelling. Like, Fear the Walking Dead was actively bad for a season, in part because of exactly that shitty approach where they did it for an entire season. But like, it was it's just such a weird, funny memory, this being like, wow, this weird moment of like watching we were watching a completely standard-ass episode where all it is everyone's on the farm gets attacked, people flee the farm, and so on. Very straightforward, like, status quo shifter of a finale, as you'd often expect from a show. But our own bizarre technical glitch and or ineptitude, whatever the fuck happened, led to like creative editing that did non-linear storytelling that made the episode more interesting than it actually was. It's that weird experience. Like, sometimes maybe it is better to watch the ending first. Sometimes you watch the ending first in a movie and you don't even know that you've done it. I think Memento in particular was like a big, let's watch this movie, let's watch this entire film backwards film, which was fun. But anyway. No, they just met. That dark-haired lady doesn't trust anyone. She's troubled. Oh. Okay. How come nobody talks? It's silent before your time. Do they just play old movies here? Probably so they don't have to give you speakers for your car. The car speakers are my favorite part. You know they use radio? Just regular radio, I mean. Sometimes people can bring a little transmitter and jam the signal with some circus music or something. Something loud and garish. That's what makes the best jamming signal. Hit all the frequencies. Ha! Damn. Did you see that? I'm not sure you should be watching this, kid. I'm not watching. Didn't see that coming. That took a violent turn there. We should get back on the road. Let's just watch, see how it ends. Let's ruin this child. There's one other person here. There's one vehicle. So what are you hauling back there? Anything good? You been driving long? All my life. I heard that. We're lifters too. Alive on the road. What are they doing? They're burying him. Time to get going? Might as well finish the film. They killed him and now they're gonna bury him. Seems like a lot of trouble to make a delivery. You couldn't have just referred to someone local? They were very specific. Huh. Good to them, knowing what they want, I guess. This is actually worth noting. We're in the middle in the United States. We're in the middle of a thing where someone's like they're trying to defund the postal office, which is kind of an issue because the whole point of the post office is that it's a service, not a business. Which is weird because people keep talking about things in terms of like, the post office keeps losing money every year as if it's a business. Like, they keep talking about that as like a sign that it's like an inefficient thing or something. And it's like, what do you mean it's losing money? It's not, the post office is not a business. It doesn't lose money. It spends money. That's what it is as a concept. Like DHL and UPS and Amazon and whatnot, they lose money because they're businesses. But the USPS is it's paid for by tax dollars. It's a service. That's like the point of it. But anyway, 14 years ago, it's been hemorrhaging money for 14 years. But that's because I'll like misquote the details slightly here, maybe. But it's like this. It's this thing where I think it was the Bush administration decided that the post office needs to like pre-allocate the retirement funds and benefit funds or whatever for all of its employees like 10 years in advance or something. Like it's a huge amount of money that it can't possibly actually generate or have on hand. And they're also like hogtied, so they're not allowed to innovate and they're not allowed to monetize anything in special ways or do any special tricks to make any money. And so they're like, so there's this thing where like people like criticize it for being an inefficient thing that fails to innovate and be a good business or whatever, and that's why it's losing out or whatever. But they hogtied it so that it can't make money and is also doomed to always constantly lose money by giving it this big expense. So they gave it a huge problem while also slapping its hand whenever it tries to solve the problem. And then the same people who did that then turn around and like laugh at the post office and make a big political thing about how like, see, it's all inefficient, we should just defund it and get rid of it or whatever the fuck. And it's like, what? But you're the ones that made it so it is this, what the fuck? But also it's not a business. That's not what it is. It's a service. And the important thing about the USPS as a service is that it delivers mail to every American. It has to. No matter how remotely and awkwardly you live or whatever the hell, when you're in an inefficient and unhelpful location and you're in the rural areas and whatnot, and it's inefficient cost-wise to deliver to you, they still have to do it. The thing is, Amazon and whatnot, they don't do that. So if you live in a shitty area, but by which I mean like shitty for efficient and profitable businesses to deliver to, then what they actually do is they usually take the package like 80% of the way there, and then once they arrive in like the county or whatever, they hand off the package to the local post office, and the post office delivers it. And it's like, there's people who actually only can get mail because of the post office, but people are talking about defunding it, and they're making this big political thing bizarrely because this is just the year where we politicize plagues and then we politicize mail for some reason. I don't understand what planet we're on anymore, but there's people who won't get mail without the post office. It's kind of fucked, especially since like living creatures are shipped via the post office, like chicks and like feed and whatnot. There's creatures that are specifically shipped via the mail that will now die and have been dying because of the defunding. And then also like there's people who get their medications in the mail, and like war vets and senior citizens and whatnot that need their meds that are getting hurt by this. It's just completely fucking bizarre. So in a way, Conway is a goddamn fucking hero because somebody has to be willing to deliver packages, even when it seems like a lot of trouble for delivery, because people need their shit. People die, or at least suffer consequences for not getting their mail at all in cases like this. It's an issue. So anyway, that's the tangent for the moment. It's been 2020 has been a fucking headache and a half. Whoa, that's it? Yeah, it just kind of trailed off. Like that guy's story. It was really weird the way that big guy just sat down on the road like that. What do you think it means? He gave up. That's kind of sad. Well, let's go back on the road, huh? Birdie! Can I click on the birdie? No? I guess he's just following... Yeah. Well, that was at least some coverage of the local area. It's hard to be sure. But it's neat to see that you actually can go there with the bikes coming with you. Eckes Oils is still an option. Do you get to visit? Ooh, fade to black. All right. Act 2, Scene 3. Eckes Oil. Okay. Not exactly a chapter name, but I'll take it.